Last time on Square Roots, the woodsman's 15 minutes of fame are up. Snow hits the looking-glass ceiling at work, and Mr. Toad tells some tales. Later, Bigby gets a delivery ahead of schedule. Don't worry, he'll face these challenges head-on. But things are gonna get hairy, just a heads up. We're heading for danger.
Hey everyone, and welcome to Square Roots, the classic RPG podcast. My name is Jim Banks. I'm joined by Matthew Van Sant.
Hey yo,
John Glamour Brandon.
Ooh, fashion, glitter, glamour, and fame. John
And Vanessa.
Truly outrageous, truly outrageous. Whoa, John. Sorry.
All right, and Vanessa.
I'm Vanessa, and I always felt that the Misfits had better music than Jim.
Well, that's what they say. They literally say that in their song.
yeah, I
Well,
think
they do. They're right.
I think everybody agrees with that. That's not a that's a cold take.
And friends, this is a podcast where we play and talk about your favorite classic RPGs, one chunk at a time. Not technically playing an RPG this time. We're playing Telltale's A Wolf Among Us. Episode 2 of our 3-episode series.
Mm-hmm. And if you got a problem with it, take it up with yourselves, because you, listeners, are the ones who voted for it.
Why did you do this to us? This game is long and
What?
hard.
No, it's not.
It's
neither of those
super
things.
short.
It's
This game
scary
is short and
it's-
easy and fun and funny.
We
funny,
should
I
probably mention too, since this
funny
is
sometimes.
episode 2 of 3, we do have a vote live currently. I think it'll be on its last day when this episode comes out, though. But the next game will be decided when that vote is up. On the roster is Okami.
currently
The game
leading
we've all
by
already
a-
bought.
The
Because
game
it's
we've
going
all
to win.
already bought because it's going to win.
It's got more than 50% of the vote.
Bayonetta.
Johnny's first
12 days
winner.
left, and today is
Oh, wow,
Wednesday.
Johnny's first winner.
You know, I think
So
Yakuza
actually, Johnny's first winner.
was...
And there's Uncharted 4.
Which
And
nobody wants. I don't know
which,
why
like,
everyone
it's-
is against
low
Uncharted.
single digits percentage. Low
Wow.
single digits.
I was
Don't
surprised
worry,
that
Vanessa,
did
they're
God of
getting-
War get more? That's
Yeah.
surprising.
Yeah, a little bit. Don't worry,
Well-
Vanessa. You're getting Uncharted one way or another thanks to this month's bonus episode.
Oh, yeah. We should say that, too. After much deliberation, we have decided to not cover Beyond Two Souls.
I wanted
and we're
to
going
do it,
be...
and they bullied me into not playing it.
That
We're giving a patented Square Roots watch-a-thon of Uncharted the movie.
Yeah, you know what? I think it'll be fun to talk about.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
It's okay. It wasn't that bad.
So yeah, if you want to cast your vote, like we said, there's one horse that's really pulled ahead. But if you want to get on there and vote and make us play something else, you can become a patron at patreon.com/Square Roots Podcast.
It would continue with our tradition of Jim buying a game thinking that we're going to play it, and then it turning out to not win the vote.
Yeah, I have a lot of games on my Vita for that, just for that very reason.
I think this. I was trying to look up the date, but the vote ends in 12 days. So I think.
Oh, I guess it would be like a
through
week
the rest of
from.
the week.
It would be a week from this release date. So yeah, you got some time. Go
You
to
got
the
some time.
Patreon, sign up.
I think only 50% of the vote is in. Yeah, only 50% of the vote is in. So if
Yeah.
you're a patron, get in there. Okami's currently killing it, but Bayonetta's
Yeah,
only.
Bayonetta could win.
Bayonetta could win. I think
That's
Bayonetta
a-
would be
that's a
fun to
fun
talk about
game.
too.
It's a fun game. So if you're a patron and you haven't voted, go vote. If you're not a patron and you want to vote, become a patron. That's all I'll say about that. Guys, we have a whole ton of hot gaming news.
Oh, so
boy.
much.
Well, Gamescom.
Oh, there's a ton.
Gamescom
From
is
Gamescom.
on, right?
Yeah.
Gamescom, the biggest com for games.
Is it still going on, or is it
Gamescom.
over? Was there more today? I wasn't really paying attention.
I don't know.
I didn't see much, so I'm assuming it's over.
I think it was
All I
just
know
day
is that
one.
I want to talk about that fucking Lies of P game. Okay.
Oh,
I just
yeah,
want to talk about it.
Gamescom. Wait. 2020. Oh, Gamescom, what? Opening night was most recently. It goes from Wednesday to Sunday.
Wow.
They're not going to drop
So-
any hot gaming news on the second day of Gamescom.
They
No, you're
might.
right.
You know, it's going to be less
You know what?
crowded, so
It'll be
someone's
great
gonna
for us because
announce
it
something.
means that our listeners will get a week-old version of us talking
Yeah.
about it.
Although in news today, like hot off the press, I did see that they announced a new Telltale game. That's relevant.
Yeah.
It's
Telltale's
gonna be-
dead.
it's gonna-
Everyone
it's-
says Telltale's dead. They're not making any more
There was
games.
two.
There's no
there's
way this
two
is true.
Telltale games.
Yeah, two. There's one that's a sequel to Tales from the Borderlands.
Oh yeah. That's
Yeah,
exciting,
and
I
there's
guess.
another one
like those-
about
that game a
the
lot.
Expanse.
Now, I've seen a few
Expanse,
episodes
hell
of The
yeah.
Expanse, and it did not grab me. But
It's
I-
very
I've never seen it, but I want to.
It's very gritty, and if you
when
don't
it
like that, you're not
when
gonna
it
like
started with like a noir detective thing, which admittedly I like in this game, but it was a sci-fi show starting with a noir detective voiceover.
He
I was
looked
like
silly.
"Ugh,
Like I
don't."
got bad
And
news
wasn't
for
it
you.
wasn't it Tom Jane?
It's Tom Jane, and when your main character looks silly, it just doesn't work, gang. And they gave Thomas Jane a silly haircut. Like, what are you gonna do? And then when he didn't have the silly haircut, he was wearing a silly hat. Like, just don't make your main character look like a clown. This game doesn't make Bigby Wolf look like a fucking clown.
Oh,
What
God.
if
But
you're...
I like the Expanse. I like the setting, and I think that it's got a lot of neat stuff in it. I've watched it, and I don't think I've watched the latest season. But and I like the sci-fi hardcore, the hard sci-fi aspects. The people trying to survive out in space, and it's like a cold and dangerous place, and not Star Wars where you just kind of hop from place to place. You know what I mean? Hard sci-fi. It's fun. I think that could be fun.
I'm watching this Lies of P trailer, and it's like they took a Dishonored but made it like Dark Souls.
It's
Lies of P-
it's like they mashed together
he-
Dishonored and
hang on.
Bloodborne.
Do you know who P is yet?
He's
Yeah.
Pinocchio.
What?
Yeah, there's Pinocchio.
Oh,
I'm telling
No.
you, fucking
I thought John
you
already knew about it.
clowns.
I'm watching it right now.
He just said he's watching it right now.
They announced this game like 6 months
You
ago.
can know what the game's about without watching the trailer. Anyway,
Is
this
he-
game is about
Is it
young
actually
Timothy Chalamet.
That is Timothy Chalamet, or someone who looks like?
Is it? I didn't think it.
No.
I didn't think it was Timothy Chalamet.
It
That's
looks
like
like
an
Timothy
indie game.
Chalamet.
It cannot afford.
Oh, I wanted to make a
Timothy
quick. Let me
Chalamet.
before we pivot away from Telltale. Can I quickly say that playing Wolf Among Us has definitely convinced me that I would like to play Tales of the Borderlands. I think
Yeah, it's a good game.
It's a good game.
that needs to get either a bonus app or a vote soon, right?
Yeah. I want to do a open
Maybe not
world
a main
game
show
vote after this one.
Oh boy, you just keep ramping up these larger and larger.
Oh.
I
No,
love
I'm
an
kidding.
open
Tommy
world
is
game.
a
I love an
30
open
hour
world. What are your- What are your
hour
ideas? Because
baby.
I'll tell you what, I'll fight you guys if you try to make me replay like a 60-hour.
Well,
Open
there's
world.
Vin Diesel's the Wheelman.
I would actually like to play that.
No, you would not. All right, Johnny, can we get your hot take reaction to Tales of P? Lies
Yeah.
of P?
I'm watching
Did it-
it right
did it-
now.
Do you feel like it has conveyed that this is Pinocchio?
I did not. Well, I don't have sound on, so maybe like all of
Maybe
the
they're saying
dialogue
things.
is like, Pinocchio, why don't you go do this for me? Yes, Geppetto. But
Geppetto's voiceovering it. There's the old lady, I think, is the Blue Fairy. Looks
I'd
like
say
a
that-
gross Pinocchio, which I'm into a gross Pinocchio. What a fun idea.
Yeah.
I'm not into another Dark Souls, but I'll probably play it anyway. So
I feel that it's important to say pretty essentially, whenever you're talking about Pinocchio, that this is not a game about a little wooden boy. This is a little flesh boy, what looked like
looks
Timothy
like Timothy
Chalamet.
Chalamet.
They call
kinda looks
him.
like Timothy
they,
Chalamet.
they call
Looks a
him
lot
like
like
in the subtitle for the game or one of the marketing lines for the game. They called him like a something mechanoid. So he's a robot.
yeah, he a robot. It's going to be weird. You know what? I hope it's weird. Give me more weird games. I like weird stuff. All right, what other hot gaming news is there?
They did release a gameplay / combat video for the Callisto Protocol, which is very high up on my most anticipated games list.
That's the one that was a PUBG game at one point.
The one that was a PUBG game at one point. But it looks amazing. It looks like a way cooler Dead Space. So I am super stoked for that.
I didn't see that.
What else? There's so many other things.
There is going to be a Dune MMO.
Oh, like a survival MMO, like a Rust.
Ooh, or a Valheim.
But with Dune stuff, you know? Like, I'm interested in that for sure.
I love Dune 2, the game.
I liked that. I liked Dune quite a bit. I liked that movie. This looks like it's very heavily based off the movie, though it was not Timothée Chalamet. That I don't know that it was if it was supposed to be Paul Atreides, but boy, it sure looked like it was supposed to be to me.
You know, it's just this year is Timothée Chalamet's time to shine in video games.
Mm-hmm.
But this was not Timothée Chalamet. This was just kind of a bland white guy.
Oh. Gotham Knights got a release date.
A week earlier than the previous announcement, actually. Yeah.
Now, do you think that means that they're trying to like get it out before the reviews because it's going to be a stinker, or they're trying to get it out early because they know it's going to be a gangbusters?
I know it kind of got shredded when they released the first gameplay looks because it looked really shitty. So, but it seems like people are looking forward to it. So,
I don't like those games, but I don't particularly like the Arkham games, but I do like the idea of a Batman game without Batman in it. I like them Bat Families. I like them Robins. I like them Nightwings. I've even started to like them Red Hoodses over the years. Vanessa.
Nope. I'm super against this game because they did give Nightwing a flat ass, and everyone knows.
They nerfed his butt.
They nerfed his butt.
Boycott
his
City.
Most important character. This is just as bad, if not worse, than the Tomb Raider reboot where they gave Lara Croft realistic sized breasts.
Lara Croft?
Oh, for God's sake.
Lara!
I love not being the one called out on that, because I say it too. Lara Croft?
Look, I'm an American, and I talk like an American, and I'm just going to
You're an American who almost exclusively watches European television.
Wow. That was quite a burn.
I'll have you know that I watched a New Zealand show this evening. Thank you very much.
Didn't you say... Okay.
I have one. They announced a Killer Clowns from Outer Space video game.
I mean... I gotta see more about it. I don't want to see it. I don't like it, but I guess
one of the weirder 80s like sci-fi horror films, but it's pretty awesome, and those clowns still look great. Holds up. It's one of those games that I'm not super interested in from a gameplay standpoint. It's like a 3v7 kind of format, like what they did with Friday the 13th and what they do with that. What's that one game people play? Yeah, or is that what it's called?
I don't know.
Dead by Daylight. Yeah, that one. But it's one of those like 3v7 games where you have to either kill the people or they kill you. I don't know. I'm just not interested in that. But it's neat that they're reviving all these horror properties into video games. They did Evil Dead. They did Friday the 13th. Now they're going to do Killer Clowns.
I mean,
who knows what they'll do
13th
next?
Get shut down?
They shut down the servers, yeah. But it went for a few years.
Did it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's cool.
Anything else? Anything left?
Of course. The Pikachu edition mini Ace Man.
All right, so how did you guys level up this week is what I'm interested in hearing about.
Which
Who
one?
are you interested in hearing from? Oh,
Jim.
Oh, me? Oh. Let's see. Oh, I watched a new horror movie that's called Resurrection, starring my girlfriend Rebecca Hall.
Mm-hmm.
I heard some people say that was real good.
It was amazing. Probably the best horror film I've seen this year.
Oh, it's good.
Stars Rebecca Hall and Tim Roth, and Tim Roth is just the most like threatening and creepy he's ever been, and he's a threatening and creepy man.
He's a great actor.
Yes, but it's definitely like a psychological horror film that deals with like emotional abuse and relationship control and stuff like that. It is so good. Highly recommended.
Where
John?
can one see that, Jim?
I believe it's on early access on Amazon Prime is where I saw it.
Oh, did you rent it?
Yeah.
Renter boy.
Oh, I will say, too, that I watched the new Orphan film, Orphan First Kill, which
how
is
was it? How
the
was it? How
sequel to
was
Orphan. It is absolutely bonkers. About, 50 minutes in, it has a twist that literally blew my mind. Like, I yelled at the television.
Now that's a movie we should watch for a bonus episode.
It is, guys, it is
Orphan double feature.
It
What's
is
an orphan?
wild. Orphan is about it's like a woman who has like a genetic disorder that makes her look like a 10-year-old, and she pretends to be like missing children and integrates. So she pretends to be this family's like missing child. This is a prequel to the first Orphan, the new one.
I didn't want to know the plot. So it's about a woman. It's about a small woman that murders families. Gotcha.
Yeah, the first
Yeah.
Orphan, she is adopted by this family. And they think they've adopted a sweet little girl. And then the terrible twist, earmuffs for people who don't want to know, although Jim kind of gave it away already. Turns out she was actually 30 years old the whole time.
Yeah, and she tries to
That's right.
seduce the dad. Oh, that first movie is so wild. The second one is the new one that I watched the other night is amazing. It's got Julia Stiles in it
As the orphan?
No, as the mom.
Julia Stiles as the orphan.
But it's a great movie, and it's absolutely wild. I would recommend watching it.
And where can somebody watch that, Jim?
That is free on Paramount Plus if you've got that, or early access on Amazon Prime.
I have Paramount Plus. Maybe I'll watch that.
Here's my
It
hot
is a good
take.
time.
Movies like that, I would much rather see a creepily CG'd adult actor playing the childlike person than a child actor. That's my hot take.
Yes. Yeah, the de-aging that they do on her is very... Sometimes it's subtle and sometimes it's not, but it's very entertaining.
They de-age somebody?
Yeah.
That sounds very strange.
Well, because
They de-age the actor from the first film. Because that first film came out a while ago.
Child in the
Yeah,
first
what
one,
I'm saying
right?
is
She was a teenager, right?
Right.
She was like a teen.
Maybe.
Johnny
but
doesn't
still,
want to see teens and kids trying to seduce their dads.
Yeah.
I'm right
exactly.
there with Johnny.
Yeah.
What about Interview with a Vampire? How do you feel about
man.
that?
I'm into that. Wait, are you
Gross.
just talking about the series in general?
No, we're talking. What's that actor's name?
That was
Oh,
Kristen
you're talking about
Dunst.
Kristen
Oh,
Dunst?
it's way Kristen
Oh,
Dunst.
no, I'm super not into that.
Matt's like, oh yeah.
I'm not a fan of that
She
shit.
looks like a little girl,
No,
but
I
she's
was
She's
thinking
actually
about
1,000
the
years
grown
old,
stuff.
so it's
And I
fine.
was thinking about there's a trailer for an AMC adaptation of the Vampire Chronicles. And
Yes,
the first
you are
season
excited
is going to
for
be
that.
Interview, and I'm excited as hell for that. I love those books.
And then she kisses Brad Pitt.
That movie's good, though, you know? What a great movie.
That is a good movie.
So,
Okay, I leveled up. I would like to pass it to Vanessa.
Thank you very much, Jim. I leveled up this week by continuing my Harvest Moon journey. Last time I
which
reported...
moon did you harvest?
The moon I chose to harvest was a moon named Edmund. Edmund is an immortal mage.
Oh.
He is the boy I chose to marry after I made all the boys in the village fall in love with me. And I chose him because he's an immortal mage. And he has 2 apprentices, one of whom was in love with me, so sucks to be him. But now I have my husband, and I am pregnant, so looking forward to having that freakish little mage baby be born while
Congrats,
I harvest
Vanessa.
my corn. Thank you very much.
Wow. Congrats to your mage husband.
Isn't
Wow.
Harvest Moon the game you said wasn't good?
Yeah.
You know, it's one of those hooky games, though. People love those Harvest Moons.
It's a hooky game. It's much, much easier than any Harvest Moon I have played before. I think maybe it was meant for...
What's this one on?
kids or something. It's on PlayStation. It's part of their free, if you have
Is this like an old
PlayStation
one, or
Plus.
is this like a new one?
It's relatively old, I think, but it's not the oldest of the old. Like, it's not a Super Nintendo game, but it's not brand new.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. There's a lot of space in between those, but sure.
I can't tell you exactly when it came out, and that year was 2017.
Oh.
Vanessa, if you are just barely legal, as you often claim to be,
What?
why is your reference point for old video games almost 40 years old?
Because I am a co-host on a classic RPG podcast where we play exclusively games that are 10 years old or older.
Mm-hmm.
I also have been listening to a podcast called Off Menu. This is a podcast about food, and people come on the show and talk about what their ideal meal would be, like their starter, their main course, and a dessert. It's much more interesting than it sounds, and I listened to an episode with Johnny Brandon's favorite comedian, Bob Mortimer.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, just did that today.
And what a coinky-dink.
Yeah, he's a funny, amiable fellow, and he kept talking about Jim. He's like, and then if I'm on vacation with Jim, we'll do this and that, or this and that. I had no idea who he was talking about. Turns out Vic Reeves' real name is Jim. Vic Reeves, of course, Bob Mortimer's longtime comedy companion. That's how I leveled up.
Exposed, doxed here on the Square Roots podcast.
Yeah, I doxed him. I doxed Vic Reeves, and I don't even care. His real name is James something something something. I don't remember what. So, that's me. Matt, how did you level up?
Ooh, I saw 2 great movies, both for children, that I watched with my children. I took my son and some of his friends to see Dragon Ball Superhero. And that's the newest Dragon Ball movie in theaters, and it was pretty okay, Thumbs-ish up. It's just like an extended Dragon Ball episode. They use that 3D CGI, cel shady thing, I think for the first time, like full-blown. And it did not look bad, but it certainly did not look great. It looked like watching a cutscene for a lot of the movie, so...
I do have some questions about this movie.
Yes.
Question number 1, is Krillin in it?
Yes.
Okay.
He's a police officer.
What?
He does not really fight anymore, but his wife does, and he stays behind and protects Bulma.
All Krillins are bastards. Wow. That was a twist I didn't see coming.
Mm-hmm. Working only for the top 1%, just like Robocopped.
Wow.
I know, I'm going to get myself swatted.
Question number 2.
Uh-huh.
In this movie, is there a part where they're fighting the bad guys and they give the bad guy parts. Like all their force attack, like everything they have, they throw at them, and then there's this big like explosion and then this almost column of smoke, and they're standing there after giving it their all and they're panting and they're looking at this column of smoke and they're like and then the smoke starts to clear. And you see that the bad guy is standing there as if they haven't been attacked at all. And they just look at the heroes and they go, heh. Is there a part like that?
Yep. More than one. That happens several times. This movie decided to... I won't talk about it too much, to be honest. I don't think we have a ton of listeners that are that interested in it. And I know the 3 of you aren't. So I'll briefly sum it up and say that this movie is about Gohan and Piccolo. And does not have more than 2 or 3 minutes of Goku and Vegeta, generally the main characters of the series, on screen. So that was a fun change. And they did give Piccolo, spoilers for this movie, they did give Piccolo a transformation finally. He turns orange now. And they gave Gohan a new transformation, and they give him white hair and red eyes, and his hair gets as big as his body, but stands straight up. It's really fucking goofy looking, gang. It was silly. That's it. They fought some androids, and then at the end, spoilers again, at the end it turned out that the big bad was actually a resurrected new version of Cell called Cell Max. And they had to kill him. If I don't sound that excited about it, it's because, frankly, it's not mind-blowing. Like, it's an amiable enough hour and a half of brain staring, you know? John,
Why
cut
do we
this.
keep-
I
why do
did
we-
eat a couple of gummies, so I was real into it.
Why do we all keep saying amiable? Can we say amiable like it's actually pronounced?
I
No.
don't know how
Wow.
to pronounce anything the way you say it's pronounced, sir. Anyway, so Dragon Ball
I've never even heard
Superhero,
anyone say amiable.
pretty okay. Probably not worth going and seeing in theaters, but you know, if you're a Dragon Ball person, or if you have kids that like Dragon Ball like mine, pretty good time. I also watched the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie on Netflix.
There's a new one?
Yep, it's a new animated movie on Netflix. It is a probably a finale, but kind of a semi-sequel maybe to the currently running or the most recently running Turtles series that was on Nickelodeon, which was all animated, and they all kind of had mystic powers, and Wrath was the oldest for some reason. Anyway, I watched it with my son, and you know what? Like, I still love them Turtles. I liked it more than that Dragon Ball movie. Hand-drawn animation in a lot of spots. Looked really fucking nice, or at least they made it look like it was. Looked really good. They really go all out on the fight scenes, honestly. Better than fucking Dragon Ball. And, yeah, watch that. It had the Krang. It was all about the Krang. They made the Krang. All right, I'll tell you this. This is the one thing that I found very strange about it. The movie I noticed was rated Y7, which is 7 years and older, and definitely did have the word ass in it, and for sure had some, like, body horror, The Thing-esque moments with the Krang, where the Krang were, like, infecting humans with Krangs, and they would, like, bend over backwards in a position that would make your spine snap as they turned into, like, monsters and shit. And I was like, this is for 7-year-olds? Like, don't get me wrong, like, I wasn't even mad about it. Like, I'm watching it with my son who's 11, you know, like, we also watched Prey recently, so we're fine. He's fine on this stuff, but, like, if that had come out when he was 7 and I had watched it with him, to be honest with you, I think I'd be pissed. Like, don't fucking lie to me. Too violent. Turtles. Anyway, that's how I leveled up. 2 great new animated movies, hot off the presses, and finally, Johnny, how did you level up?
How did I level up? Well, I watched Shulk. I said I was going to watch Shulk, and I did. I liked it. Although, there was a fight in it that's about half the episode that I didn't think was super necessary. I want to see Lawyer Show.
I don't think it's half the episode. I think it is 5 minutes
I
at
wanted
most.
to see the Lawyer Show, but at least the show seems to be promising more Lawyer Show. So,
you know, it's interesting that you say that. I read an article that said that this episode was initially when they were editing it. This was the final episode of the season. They were going to save the revelation for the end of the season, and then instead they decided to just do it up front.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, I think either probably is the same fine. I don't know. I think that getting the Marvel-y stuff out of the way so that it can make room, let the rest of the stuff breathe for the season. You know, you're probably right. It's probably the better idea.
Yeah.
Rather than leaving it for suddenly the end of the season to suddenly feel very Avengeries would be weird.
Right.
So, do you mean that they filmed all the episodes and then decided to change the order in which they aired? Or that the show was originally going to be like 5 episodes just about this lady who's not a Shulk, and then in the finale she becomes a Shulk?
I think the first one, where she is a Shulk the whole time.
I think that they rearranged it. I think that they had already filmed them all and then decided to stick this one at the front. But I don't know. I just skimmed an article. But I don't think that... I'm not saying that at some point they intended for the show to not be about the Hulk. No, it was always going to be about She-Hulk, but they were going to save her origin for the final episode and just let the rest of the season be whatever it is.
Honestly, I think doing a straight up lawyer show and then at the end of the first season she just becomes a Lady Hulk would be pretty fucking dope.
You know, it would I agree with you on the one hand, but in actuality it would feel like just a super long origin where the whole time you're like,
but like you don't know. It's like a stealth Hulk
if it
show.
was
Oh,
stealth,
like if they just called it Jane or
Yes,
whatever.
like it's
Even if
Ally
they called
McBeal, but at the end of the first season, she becomes a She-Hulk. That would be pretty awesome.
I agree.
Or like if at the end of the first season of Perry Mason, he becomes like a wizard or
Turns
something.
into Lou Ferrigno.
Yeah,
Just still a She-Hulk.
yeah, just still a She-Hulk.
Or at the end of the practice, he becomes a She-Hulk.
Yeah, in fact, most seasons of dramatic television would benefit from a She-Hulk transformation at the end.
The end of the first season of The Good Wife, she becomes a She-Hulk.
I watched that whole show.
I also
you? So
watched.
did my mom.
I did. I liked it. I like a courtroom drama a lot. That's a great.
What's the one where the lawyer lady's dead and she's inside the body of a girl she didn't like who is chubbier?
Oh, I remember hearing about that, but I never watched that.
Okay. I did watch.
I remember hearing about that
the
too.
rehearsal. The first 5 episodes I watched while intoxicated.
Yeah.
John,
can we share this? Because I did the exact same thing this weekend.
Yeah.
Somebody told me that the show is not actually that cringe before I watched the night that I watched it. I went home and watched it, and that person, I have not talked to them yet, but I intend to tell them that they're a fucking moron because it is the cringiest thing I've ever seen. Like, my brain tried to squeeze out through my nostrils to get away from the anxiety-inducing cringe that was happening on the screen.
And if you watch this while intoxicated, you might not realize swapped actors are occurring and stuff. Especially Angela, because they do replace Angela with a lady who at times looks very much like her and can do a good impression of her very childlike voice.
Yeah,
Wait,
I started
do?
following her on Twitter, and
notice
she's a good
that.
Twitter
When
follower.
did they
She's been in a
replace
bunch of other
Angela?
stuff.
I think I've only watched the first 4 episodes.
Oh, yeah. You haven't gotten to
swapped
that yet.
That's all right.
Yeah.
The fact that the first episode's its own thing and then the rest of the season is like mostly just kind of this is a little weird. Like, I appreciate that he's doing other smaller things, and it feels like maybe like just nothing else kind of worked out as well as that first one.
I get that's what I'm guessing, because like the premise of the show is supposed to be like a different person every week, but it's not. And they film they talk about
he
filming
starts self-inserting
episodes
a lot.
Yeah. And they
You have no idea.
like, part of the premise is that they're filming other episodes that you never see. So that's weird.
Wait, is it?
Well, like the Patrick stuff is in its own episode. It's just little bits of it that you
That's
see.
the Raising Cane's guy.
But isn't that because he ghosts them, so they can't finish it? They just have what they have.
Yeah, that one guy ghosted him. Yeah.
So it kind of makes sense why they have to. That's what I was saying. Is it kind of makes sense how they maybe have like some half things that kind of don't work out. And
it's probably hard to get people to
with Angela.
Yeah. It's probably hard to get someone to commit to something that fucking nuts. But I will say the final episode of the season was simultaneously one of the most troubling and also like funniest episodes of TV I've seen in a long time.
The finale, I think, is
haven't seen it
based
yet.
on interpreting facial expressions, which I gotta admit I'm not good at, friends. So like, I don't know what I'm supposed to be reading here. It might as well be semaphore. So yeah.
Well, let's not spoil it for Maddie. But
Yeah, I'm not. I'm just saying I don't understand facial expressions. Because I'm a robot.
It's you are a beep boop robot. But that's okay. We built you with love.
Yay!
I think that everyone should watch this show because there's never been anything like it. But I don't know if it's good.
Like, the final episode was like simultaneously like one of the realest episodes of reality television I've seen, but had so many like meta layers to it that I know that it's so hard to describe.
Right, but then like the whole time you're watching it, I at least am like, is this real? Like,
yeah.
If someone showed up and was like, oh, we were just like joking about all of this, and these people aren't, who we even said they were, and this is not their house, I would believe it. I'd be like, okay.
Yeah.
Checks out.
It's a very strange but interesting show. Otherwise, I've been playing through a bunch of those games that I got. Xenoblade Chronicles 3. It has more of a school vibe to it, which I don't think is the whole game, but is interesting because it introduces like a Neville Longbottom style character, and I was like, I feel read by this kind of pudgy kid who's bad at school. I feel very seen, maybe is the better term, which is kind of just a sort of character you don't really see in a JRPG. It's like the Neville Longbottom type or Ralph Wiggum type. And that one's pretty good. Yeah, so I've been playing a lot of 3DS, a lot of Switch, and been working on a new project, and that's been really cool. So, yay! Is there anyone else who still needs to go?
Nope, that's it.
Nope.
Oh,
you didn't watch any other TV that you want to talk about, Johnny?
Not really, no.
Nothing? Nothing.
Play games.
No good, great shows.
John, you gotta watch Orphan First Kill, dude.
I guess I should mention.
Now it's time for us to get into the quest log.
Oh, another time. Quest log.
Come up. We gotta start. Episode 2: Smoke and Mirrors.
So I decided.
We left off last time. Quest log.
Too late. They're already clapping. You got.
Since everyone was being good cop, that I would play bad cop. But then in the first chunker, I didn't end up playing bad cop. I ended up playing doesn't talk cop to see what that was like.
Yeah.
And that's pretty funny. If you don't say anything through the whole episode, it gets very weird.
You can play a silent protagonist all the way through. I actually utilized the silence a lot more myself in this one, but it was mostly like realistic, just reactions. Like in this upcoming first chapter, you have to take a car ride with Crane, and I was like, I hate this guy. Like,
yeah,
he
I
offers
did that.
excuses and tries to talk to you, and I was just like, I just acted like I would in real life, which is to just be like, I just to ignore you. Like, fuck you. I don't want to talk to you.
The game doesn't.
We're not having a conversation.
It sometimes doesn't respond to the fact that you didn't talk the entire time, but we'll talk about that as we get through each scenario, because not talking through each scenario is different. Some of them work really well and some of them are just bizarre.
So last time, the end of the last episode, Snow got murdered.
Oh no.
Remember how she got her head cut off and left on the steps?
Yep.
And that's bad. And this one starts off with Bigby having been arrested by real cops. At the end of the last episode, we mentioned that he cut through some real cops to find her head. So they arrested him, and you can talk to this cop for a bit. And I don't know. I didn't really tell her anything. I don't know why you would. Did anybody tell her anything?
No, you really can't.
Yeah, I didn't.
Pretty
I was
quickly.
Just like, you look tired, and she got mad at me because you shouldn't say that to a cop.
I just didn't say anything.
Shouldn't talk to the cops anyway.
Quickly, she gets a nosebleed, and then everybody in the police precinct starts passing out. And Crane comes in. He's cast some sort of glamour over the place that is going to remove their memories for the past 24 hours. And you grab, I don't know, something, a picture.
You grab a picture, you grab a picture of Snow's head. Crane does mention this is a very expensive spell.
I noticed that you left the fucking paperwork she was filling out in her hands. Like, what a stupid idea. Why don't you take your records
and the videotape.
And the fucking videotape.
Of the interview, yeah.
Anyway, but then you get to take a ride with Crane back to the Woodlands office, and it's fucking awkward. Like, I didn't really talk to him. I did not want to talk to this guy. He's already, your first impression of this guy is him. Well, he's a piece of shit. So, what about you guys? How did this conversation go?
It went really well. I talked to him about how he must be under a lot of stress, how it's really difficult to lose someone that you care about. And he was like, yeah, it is really difficult. And I thanked him for getting me out of the prison. And he's like, yeah, we really need to solve this case, Bigby. And I was like, I agree, bud. Thanks for the ride. Okay, love you. Bye.
Wow. I did the same thing.
Vanessa and Jim are Crane's best friends. Johnny and Matt would not speak a word to the man.
Mm-mm.
I will say that I watched Jim stream this a little bit, and almost to a T, he did the exact same thing I did every time.
That's weird, but it sounds like
I'm
John
pretty sure
did a lot of the same stuff. Well, I didn't play Bad Cop, so.
Yeah. I didn't do that much Bad Cop stuff, because the second chunker, I decided to take more bad actions. This chunker... Well, because the next thing that you do is that he wants you to interview the prisoner that you have, which is either Tweedledum or the Woodsman, depending on who you arrested.
Who'd you guys have down there?
Tweedledee or the Woodsman. I had Tweedledee. Did anybody have the Woodsman?
I did.
Vanessa.
Wow. Oh, I had Tweedledee.
Well, let me tell you what happens with D first. I bet it's very similar. You get to the woodlands and you go into a room in the basement, and D is tied to a chair. And also there, Bluebeard. He fucking sucks. He's aristocracy. He's a piece of shit. He's
the voice actor who played Lee in The Walking Dead Season 1 Telltale game.
Oh, that's why it sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Hey, he sounds great, but the character is an antagonist, and he is annoying. He is going to try and push you into hurting this person.
Mm-hmm.
I was
like,
pretty
damn
dark.
right, you have great ideas. Let's do it. Here's a cigar. Put it out on his hand.
I liked I like the fact that you could hurt him or not. And I also liked reading this guy's Book of Fables entry, where I didn't know this guy's fable, but apparently he was a guy that married women and then murdered them.
Yeah,
wow.
I told you this last week.
Yeah, Vanessa.
Oh, I don't remember.
Vanessa did
you may have
talk
been
about
gone
the
at
story.
the time. You may have missed you may not have been there at the moment.
Yeah,
it's an interesting one. He's a pirate. He's the pirate Bluebeard. It's funny. It seems like
He's
you can
not
get
the pirate Bluebeard. What are you talking about?
That's the pirate
Blackbeard,
Bluebeard,
right?
No.
He's the pirate Bluebeard.
No. No.
We can revisit this later.
We don't need to. You're wrong.
Okay. We interrogate D or the Woodsman. You can get it's interesting. It seems that you can get the same result no matter what you do. Like, I did not torture him. I picked his stuff up. I gave him a smoke. I gave him a drink. I looked at his money and then put it back down. I asked him questions over and over
I pocketed
again.
all that money.
So yeah, I mean, every time I found money in this game, I kept it.
Oh, really?
Same
Wow.
here.
I never had money. I gave all my money away at the end of the first chapter. I never saw it again. But it didn't hinder me at all, so not very realistic. What can I say? Anyway, Bluebeard threatens him a lot and keeps telling me to hurt him, and he just kind of cracks under the pressure anyway, for the most part. Vanessa, what was different with you? I had a cigar and whiskey and money. What did the Woodsman have on him? Was it not like that at all?
It was very similar. I went in and Bluebeard, who of course is the guy who would marry women, kill them, and put them in his closet, and was famously not a pirate.
He was just a rich guy, right?
He was just a rich guy. I think it's from 1001 Arabian Nights, this story originally. Maybe I'm wrong.
French folktale.
Okay, I was totally wrong.
It was printed
Also
in
wrong about him not
stories
being a
or
pirate.
tales from past times with morals, or Mother Goose tales.
Oh yeah, it's a Mother Goose story.
Yeah.
So this dude was like smacking up Woody, and I walked in and I was like, hey pal, hey, I'm actually here to help. And he's like, oh, you are you? And I'm like, yep. So you can just wait over there, and I'm gonna talk to Woody. And Crane backed me up because we're best pals. And I talked to Woody a little bit, and he just wanted to go. He's like, I didn't kill anyone. And he had some whiskey and some cigarettes. So I gave him a nice sip of whiskey. I gave him a nice cigarette to smoke, and then he started singing like a bird. And he told me that Faith was not supposed to be at his apartment at all, that he had a standing appointment with Lily, and Lily would throw him a freebie when he couldn't pay. She was very understanding, so he got upset when Faith showed up because he didn't have the money to pay her. And then I was like, thanks for telling the truth. Love you, bye.
You gave him a little kiss on the cheek.
Vanessa?
Gave him a little kiss. Mm-hmm.
I apologize. You were correct.
Oh, I know I was, but thank you very much for the apology.
Mm-hmm. Bluebeard was a pirate, for sure.
Blackbeard was a pirate. Bluebeard was a rich man.
Idle, deedle, diddle dee.
To be fair, I don't know how Bluebeard made his money. It could have been through piracy.
I mean, the top result when I typed in "is Bluebeard" was a pirate. So clearly there's some confusion there. Anyway, twist! What happens at the end of this interrogation? Snow walks in. Twist!
Does she have her head on?
She has her head attached to her body. She's fine.
Whoa.
I know, it's crazy, right? Why is she there? I thought she was dead.
Yeah. Why is she there? Thought she was dead.
Chapter 3 confused me some, gang, because Snow is super pissed off. I guess that it's gonna do. Maybe it's a situation where she just kind of reacts however she reacts, no matter what you did. Because I was very nice, frankly, and she comes in and is like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, keeping this dude from getting killed by these crazy people. Like, fuck you! Don't talk to me like that.
Well,
getting all shitty with me.
At the end of my
Saving dudes' lives.
interrogation,
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, at the end of my interrogation, Bluebeard did start just punching him in the face.
Oh, that's right.
What do you know? What do you know? So I think that's what she was upset about.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
But anyway, Snow is big mad, and she explains that she was just at Mr. Toad's because she got an emergency call from Mr. Toad, and you weren't around, you being Bigby, and so she went by herself. And she has TJ, Mr. Toad's son, upstairs in the business office because he saw something, found something, and I don't know. It's weird how this slowly lays out the story instead of Snow just fucking telling you. Because she has come back with her own body. So I don't know why she makes you drag it out of this kid when she did come back with the body that was thrown into the river. So TJ was swimming in the river and somebody threw a body in. That's where Snow went. And you interrogate TJ to learn that somebody threw a body in the river?
Mm-hmm. I love TJ.
But again, Snow returned with the headless body, so I don't know what the fuck's going on here. Because as soon as you're done talking to TJ...
that she had the body, because I looked at the body before I talked to TJ.
Oh, maybe I just did it out of order.
Yeah, I went over to her and I was like, well, let me look at the body first, because I wanted to know if there were any clues on it that would provide any insight into inconsistencies in TJ's story, because I don't trust that slimy toad.
He's just he's a cute kid.
He's a slimy, slippery toad.
What the fuck?
What? How dare you?
Slimy, slippery toad boy.
This is
He's
unacceptable.
Try to toad his way out of anything. So situation.
What did TJ reveal then? I thought he revealed that he found a body in the river. What did he reveal to you then?
TJ
what did he reveal to you?
That he was a swimmin', which he's not supposed to do. And that he heard a noise, and so he went under the water, like his daddy told him to do if he hears a noise.
I didn't really want you to retell me the whole story, you know?
When he was under the water, a body was thrown into the river and went past him. Did not have a head. Then he went up to the surface, and he heard somebody say, "I told you not to laugh at me." And then he got scared and went back under the water. That's TJ's story.
Well, that's helpful. I don't know. I haven't finished the game yet, so I don't know if that plays into it, but I don't know how it plays into it in what I've played so far. Regardless.
Irregardless.
Whoa. According to Merriam-Webster, it's a fine word, and you shouldn't be weird about people using it. Even
if Merriam-Webster says I have to get off Jim's back, regardless of what he says.
But it was coined by fucking George W. Bush, and it was
a thing before him.
Was it?
Yeah.
You mean the scholar George W. Bush?
Yale graduate
it wasn't
George
coined by George Bush. He just fucking misspoke because he's an idiot. But no, I guess it was before that. I am from Texas. I probably used to say you regardless.
It's fine. So after that, I did not talk to TJ. I talked to TJ, but just kind of gave him looks. I was kind of like, and then he just told me everything. I just was like,
yeah. That's nice.
Yeah.
So after that, I went downstairs and checked the body as Vanessa. There's not much to it. You find a magic box that has like a glamour in it, or has
and a
hair
puzzle.
In it, I think.
There's a puzzle.
Yeah, I liked this.
It's not exactly a difficult puzzle, but you
it's a puzzle that children can solve.
Yeah. Well, it mostly has it lined up for you already, so that helps.
Yeah.
It's pretty much done. Things just need to be moved a click or two. You create, you make a little deer.
Yeah, it's a line up the picture puzzle.
Once you do that, the body turns into a troll. And at first, I thought maybe it was Holly, the bartender from the Trip Trap, the owner of the Trip Trap. But we quickly determined that it's Lily, her missing sister that we mentioned last episode.
Mm-hmm.
So we decide to head to the bar and break the terrible news to Holly.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to be nice. What about you guys? How did you handle this trip to the bar? Gren is there. Woody is there. Is Woody there? No, Dee is there. And you're like, what the fuck? And they just let him out. They didn't. Once you were gone, they just let him go because they are fucking morons. Useless fucking morons. Anyway.
Oh, Dee wasn't there for me.
Oh, you had the woodsman because you had captured the woodsman.
Yeah, the woodsman was there.
All right, so how did you guys handle this bar scene? You have to break the news to Holly. I don't think you have to tell her, right? Or do you?
Well, Snow White came with me. And so she did a lot of the talking.
You can decide if Snow comes with you or not. I left the decision up to her, and she came.
Yes, I also left it up to her. Why would I dictate where this woman can go? She's an adult and my boss. So I guess she's not my boss. She's my coworker.
Mm-hmm.
So I did break the news, and I was like, I'm sorry. And then she's like, boo, you're a stupid wolf. I hate you. The other guy was there who I had fought, but I didn't rip off his arm, so we seemed kind of cool. And then Snow went to the corner and talked to Lily a whole bunch and was like, hey. Or not Lily. What's her name?
Holly.
Wait, is Holly the dead one?
Lily's
the dead one. Lily's the dead one.
Okay. So
Holly, we learned that Holly was a prostitute working at the Pudding and Pie. Well, she was working at the Pudding and Pie nightclub. I guess we don't. Really learn she was a prostitute until later, but it's pretty clear.
But Holly mentions when you go and talk to her in this scene that she had turned to hooking, is what she says. Because she had gotten addicted to Mundy drugs.
Oh no!
Wow, that'll do it.
So go ahead.
That's it.
I did go and say absolutely nothing to Holly. So she kind of just looked at me. She hid her bottles from me. She sat down with Snow, and they had a really good talk. And, she kind of admitted what has happened with her and her sister and how they hadn't really talked, but, she didn't deserve to be killed. And then at the end, Snow does say to me as we're leaving, you were really good with Holly there, and I'm just happy for that.
That's fucking hilarious.
Yep.
Anyway, so that is the end of Chapter 3. We head into Chapter 4. At the start of Chapter 4, we find ourselves outside the Pudding and Pie.
We meet Georgie Porgy.
Yep, we head inside. We meet Georgie Porgy. He has a dancer rehearsing. This is our first instance of nudity in this game.
Nudity! Oh, yeah!
There
the
are
three of us,
adults only,
Jim,
rated
Vanessa,
M.
and I spent maybe 30 minutes making jokes about this.
What?
We did, yeah.
Well, because I, sent a very normal message saying, oh no, there are breasts in this game, to which you guys started sending back things like, no boobies, won't watch the movie, or no tits, not gonna sit. Things like that.
I said, I found the chat. Hold on.
Yeah, please
oh boy,
share with our listeners.
I don't know that these are worth.
I will say, Matt made a joke about there being a whorehouse and it being edgy. And then I said I was about to shut the game off, and then I saw some jugs, and I was all in. and then Matt said, if there ain't no tits, I don't sits. And I said, ain't no breast, it's time to rest. And Vanessa chimed in with, ain't no schlong, move along. And then we just kept riffing.
It was
I
fun.
must have been asleep while you were
Yeah,
having
you
fun.
were.
The last two were,
Sorry, Johnny.
I said, no ball sack, hit the road jack. And Vanessa said, no prostate, catch a cab, mate.
Oh, God. So he does look like the MC from Cabaret.
He does.
Yeah, but like the reboot with
the reboot. He's very, edgy, lordy. He's tattoos from forehead to toes. Mm-hmm. He's carrying a boombox around, which is hilarious. Like, is this question I've been meaning to ask, actually. Is this game set in the 90s?
I think it is.
All the
they don't
cars
have
are 80s.
cell phones.
They don't have cell phones.
The cars look
They
pretty
use
80s.
payphones.
I mean, the cars
Yeah.
look older, but that doesn't necessarily, I don't know. 80s, maybe?
Yeah,
I know it's
80s
a
or
prequel to
90s.
Fables, but I don't know when Fables starts, like 2000 and something, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So, in fact, it maybe started early 2000s, so I guess a late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah,
that
I mean,
explains
these
the
people
kind
are
of
immortal.
neon.
Mhm.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah,
Anyway,
it makes sense because, like, this New York that they live in is gross.
Yeah, it's gross.
Mm-hmm.
That's a
So
good
it makes
point,
me
too.
think it's like pre-Giuliani New York.
And they can afford to live there, so
Wow.
obviously.
Yes, yeah.
Pre-Jim's America's attorney, Jim's favorite, Giuliani.
Yeah.
Boy,
Giuliani was the
just-
one that scooped up all the homeless people and sex workers and made them, like, put them on an island or something.
That's probably much more
What,
horrific
like
than
Long
that.
Island?
I don't know.
They put them on Roosevelt Island. That's
Yeah,
why nobody goes
they're
there.
all on Roosevelt Island.
Yeah, he's tats head to toe. He's got a boombox. He's being a real jerkface to this stripper who is stripping, talking about what a piece of shit
She's not
she
a
is.
stripper. She's a
being
dancer.
He's being straight gross to this.
Yeah.
He's
to
being
this
straight
lady.
gross, and he's gross to you. He's very, what the fuck are
He's
you
a
gonna
scumbag.
do? Yeah,
He's a fucking scumbag.
He doesn't offer you. He's not gonna tell you anything. He doesn't give a fuck. What are you gonna do, pig? And then, of course, the game wants you to smash the place up. I refused to smash the place up. At this point, I kind of decided to start playing pacifist here. I was like, you know what? Because the game clearly wants me to do this shit. It's got Bluebeard poking you along. And it does it here too. It, like, when you decide not to smash things, you continue walking around the bar and just eyeballing things like you're gonna smash them.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then
Yes.
moving on to the next thing. And finally I got to the end and I was a jukebox or something. I don't even remember what it was. And it made me, I think I had to pick a dialogue
It was
choice
the
that
DJ stand, yeah.
said something like, I'll smash this fucking thing. So that was as violent as I got.
I liked the really first. I think it's the first smashing event where.
Tell me about smashing it up.
Yeah, the first one is great because I think Georgie Porgy tries to hit you with a cricket bat, and you grab the cricket bat from him, and if you choose to smash up the boombox at the end of the bar, the wolf will put the cricket bat on the bar, slide it
He does that
across
either
where.
way.
Yeah, okay. Where all the glasses fall on the floor, and then I just wailed on the boombox and smashed it to bits.
Wow. Broke his boombox up, huh?
Yeah, he was real mad about it too.
I mean, these people are acting like they are American citizens that have fucking rights and like they're going to go to American court, and they're not. They're all like weird immortal refugees, and this dude is their sheriff and basically seems to have, the power to just do whatever the fuck he wants for the most part.
Yeah, I really liked the scene, and I didn't feel bad about busting up Georgie's stuff because Georgie is a scumbag.
Georgie is a scumbag. Finally, you find a key, and I don't know, you find a safe, and you open the safe, and there's this little black book.
Yeah, there's a gentleman working there on janitorial duty named Hans.
Oh yeah, this guy's great. I don't know who he is.
I thought he was Hansel, maybe?
No.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. His
100%
description
not.
says he likes to be called Clever Hans, but that was a horse, wasn't it? Or is that named after his story?
Maybe that's...
Well, maybe he's a horse in a glamour.
He's not Hansel. Hansel.
Hansel.
For sure. Because he's a major character later in the series.
He does want to be a dancer, but he's like not ready for it, even though he's like the most ripped guy in the game. I don't know why he's not being allowed to be a dancer. Maybe he's bad at dancing.
It says in his fable entry, it says, as in the case of his noted fable where he threw sheep's eyes at his wife.
What?
Oh
yeah, I
of
remember
course.
that.
That's why he's single.
Well, the fun thing
says.
about fables is that it does like to do some fable fucking deep dives, and you know what? It can get pretty fun. I liked some of the ideas, some of the concepts.
Oh, it's an
of fables.
Aesop fable.
Good one.
About a blind sheep?
Anyway, after you fight with him for a bit, you get the black book, and it has a room number 207, and then the dancer wants to speak with you. And she reminds me, she's a lot like the Faith at the beginning of the game. She can only say so much. She keeps saying these lips are sealed, and
she has a ribbon, just like Faith did.
Blah, she has a ribbon. But she offers you her services, basically. I had no money. She's like 150, and I was like, I don't have any money. And she like took it out of her purse and went and paid for it herself.
This is a wildly different interpretation of events than what happened.
Yeah, same with Silent Cop. Different.
What happened with you guys?
Well, with me, I went to talk to her, and she did want to help me, and I was like, can you tell me what this room is? And she's like, my lips are sealed, and then she looks at me, and she goes, would you like to make an appointment with me?
Yeah,
and
dude.
I picked up on that she was not offering me her services. She was attempting to communicate with me the only way that she could.
Right.
Since she is unable to speak about this thing.
Yeah, so by offering you her services at the hotel.
She wasn't
the hotel where people from
the
hotel where all of the prostitutes, all of the girls that work at the Pudding and Pie work as prostitutes.
She's giving you a clue.
She is giving you a clue, Matthew.
Don't misunderstand me as saying that she... Do not misunderstand me as saying that she was offering to have sex with Bigby.
That's exactly what you said.
No, what I'm saying is that she, when she offers you the room key, she asked me for money, and then she took money. I said didn't have money. She took $150 out of her purse, and she went and paid Georgie.
Yes.
For the appointment, which Georgie, I assume, thinks is an appointment to sleep with her.
Oh, yes. I paid her with the money I took from Tweedledee.
Nice.
I just didn't say anything. And she's like, here. And she went and gave me the key and then gave the money to Georgie. Also, even at the end, I didn't smash anything at the bar because you can opt just not to do anything when it gives you that final smash thing. So, yeah, I didn't break anything. I just like put my foot on the safe and looked down and then didn't say anything. And he gave me the key.
Yeah,
so it was
I didn't
great.
smash anything either.
Anyway, she gives you a key to room 204 at the, I don't remember the name of the hotel.
Open Arms.
The Open Arms Motel. And that is where we go to next. And that was chapter 4. Chapter 5 is we show up. This is a really weirdly short chapter. I talked about this a bit in the chat today. Some of these chapters are one conversation, and some of them are 3 full fucking scenes. Like some of them last an hour and a half, and some of them last 5 minutes. Yeah. It's weird. Why is it so weirdly broken up?
I don't know.
Anyway, we head to the hotel, the Open Arms Hotel, and who's working the front desk? It's Beauty. Remember Beauty from episode 1? Who didn't want us to tell Beast what she was up to?
I think that in this game, Beauty and the Beast are fascinating characters.
Yeah, they're interesting. I like them a lot. They stuck around in the comic book as big, not main characters, but recurring characters, and I like them a lot.
I think they're well written, and I just enjoy their whole kind of arc in this game.
Some of the other ones are also fantastic. Cinderella, who doesn't show up for years, is one of my favorites. So
she does thank me for lying for her. She appreciated being covered, and
she quickly assures you she's not a prostitute.
Yeah, with silent Bigby, she sort of just tells you everything, anyways. That you do the one thing that you do.
It's everything.
Yeah, I mean, basically, this game's pushing you toward. It's like rails. A DM who knows you're kind of playing obnoxiously and pushes the story forward, anyways. It's kind of like that. So, with silent Bigby, she just says everything. Anyways, you do have to. There is no silent choice. At some point, you have to ask her about clients, and then I just did all the things because I don't know. I want to know all the clues and stuff. I don't want to just silent away the game, but you have to ask at least one question.
She can't tell you much. She does not know much. She works here. She does not ask names. She does not write anything down. She doesn't know much.
Yeah,
and she just started working there pretty recently, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And she's not a sex worker. She just runs the desk at night.
Yeah, she runs the desk at night. I don't remember if it's now or later or soon that she starts telling you about like how they're in debt and they can't afford the.
She does mention that here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like she can't afford, and I thought that was interesting. Like they're interesting characters. Now, I got to be honest with you. I always took this as kind of a metaphor for like, the man keeping people down. Like a class warfare type metaphor. But knowing more about the author now, I wonder if it's not a big government metaphor.
Well, wait till you see where they just wait till you see where they live, though, because that's what I think is fascinating.
Yeah, it gets interesting for sure.
Yeah,
where they live.
Yeah,
where who lives?
Where Beauty and the Beast live. Tells you a lot about their characters when you find out where they live.
Okay. Stop telling me things about the end of the game or what we haven't done yet. Listeners, all three of them have finished the game. They're traitors who have all finished the game a week early.
John hasn't.
John finished it.
I haven't.
Weeks before all of you.
John hasn't.
No, John hasn't finished it yet.
So it's just Jim and Vanessa that are traitors.
And I had to, because as you know, I'm working a lot of overtime this week. It's called planning ahead.
And I'm going to be traveling for the next week between Austin and Portland, so
John,
I'm not going to get to play.
John, make sure you cut their excuses out so that they just look like assholes.
Sorry, we have jobs.
I have a job. Anyway, we finally end the conversation. We head up to the second floor for Chapter 6, the final chapter of this episode, Chapter 6, Revelations. We head up to the second floor, and once we do, I don't know. I did not feel like fucking around with stuff at this point. I did not try all the other doors. I didn't do anything. I just walked right up to room 207. I told Beauty, I gotta get the fuck in there. And then Beast showed up. And Beast was big mad.
Wish that I had fucked around more. I wish I had listened at every door and like gone into room 204 that I had the key for and everything. But I was worried if I messed around too much, then she would tell me to get out of there. John, did you mess around?
Did you open all the doors in the hallway?
I opened up the 207. Well, I didn't. I tried to open up 207, but it was locked.
John, we all tried to open up 207. That's not what we were asking about. Jim, did you try any of the doors?
Yeah, and Beauty yelled at me.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
I wonder what happens if you try and go to room 204, because you have the key. Well, anyway, I bet Beast just shows up and the same thing happens. Beast shows up. He accuses you of sleeping with his wife, and you can try and talk him down, but the game will not allow you to do that. You will fight Beast. And it is kind of fun. They both get more monstrous as they fight, I like this idea of both of these guys being like fantasy powerhouses that have to shove themselves down into human form and
Yeah.
He did not like my not talking to him.
I mean, I tried to explain it to him, and he did not want to listen.
Is there a way to get out? Okay. Because I felt bad.
You have to
I always
fight
feel
him.
bad wrecking these places.
I walked up to the door and Beauty was like, at first she was like, well, you don't have the key. And I was like, let me the fuck in. And she's like, fine, I have a master key. And that doesn't work. And then Beast shows up and I was like, all right, we're going through this door. And that's exactly what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true. I did throw him through the door.
Yeah. I did, this is the only death state I reached in this game because I did not want to fight the Beast.
You got murdered by
Beast?
Wow.
Yeah, at one point when he was choking me out and Bill's like, stop it! And I was like, okay, maybe if I just kind of like let this dude do his thing. I don't want to hit him. But he just straight up killed me. So I had to redo the Beast fight again, and we did, as you said, tumble through the locked door. And once we get in there, Beast looks around and he's like, I don't think this is a romantic rendezvous after all.
Gorge.
You can I like his initial reaction is just like, Beauty can't see this.
Yeah.
Like he stops to look at it for a second and he's like, oh no, she can't come in here.
Yeah. And I said the same thing. I was like, don't come in here. And she's like, why not? And came in and she does see this crime scene. There's blood on the bed.
Pretty gnarly, yeah.
There's purple flowers on the bed. I found a purple flower in the fist of the corpse.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like drag marks on the floor where the body has obviously been moved.
Mm-hmm.
And just all kinds of nastiness.
Yeah, there's an apple with a bite taken out of it on the floor. There is a book, a fairy tale book that is exclusively about Snow White, and it's got like little notes in it.
Mm-hmm. There's a dress in the closet that is identical to the dress in the fairy tale book.
I'm a very smart boy.
With some rough play marks.
Yeah.
I'm a very smart boy, and I went straight to the book and read that first, which is The Tale of Snow White, and does have basically all of the stuff that's in the room. Then you go around, you pick up the apple, and you can go, oh, one bite, just like the book. And, oh, her dress, just like the book, and whatever. And the purple flowers. And, that's when you realize, oh no, like somebody has been, I don't know. At this point, I still was not 100% sure. I was like, somebody dressed somebody up like Snow White so they could murder her here? But then you find the photos.
Well, I also found a cassette tape that was titled For When I Arrive, and there was a cassette tape player by the bedside table, but I didn't have a chance to play that before I found the photos.
It's just like Disney music.
Yeah. It's just
like bird song and happy music, so it can set this scene. It's real fucking creepy. Beauty then does remember, like, oh, I heard that music last night. Anyway, then you find photos that have fallen clearly under the carpet, and they show somebody that looks like Snow White laying in bed, and yada, yada, yada. And the final photo is Crane. Ichabod Crane.
Like about to fucking round third base.
Yeah, about to
finger bang. Hands up them skirts.
Sleepy looking prostitute.
Slide it into third, Jim.
Yeah, he is. He's about to slide into third. And that's the end of the chapter. Now, or that's the end of the. You get one last chance here, which is to say something. I don't know. I think I said I'm going to kill Crane. I don't remember what the other choices were.
Probably, so I have one note here that they're like, all right, this proves it. Crane's the murderer, but Glamorous exists. This could literally be anyone.
That's true. Yeah. But why would it be? But also, I've refused the whole time after this to say that Crane's the murderer. He's clearly not the fucking murderer. He's just a fucking creep.
Perv.
And that's the end of the episode. Episode 3, A Crooked Mile. Chapter 1.
I do think that I don't know if Bigby's reaction was believable here to me, because he's very shocked. When like, he's not shocked by anything in this entire game, and he's shocked by Crane being an old perv.
I think he's shocked
but it's
because
like...
this is the using a glamour to look someone else. They've already said is very taboo. So I think seeing that the deputy mayor is hiring a prostitute that looks like his fucking assistant so that he can slide into third base whenever he feels like it is pretty fucking shocking.
Do you guys think that and I would say no based on how some of these characters look in this game, but do you think that you get to choose what you look like when you get your glamour?
From the witches?
Yeah, if you get an official glamour, do you think that you get to pick what you look like?
I mean, Bigby must have. I don't know. Who knows how that works? I don't know that it ever.
Bigby doesn't have a glamour.
Yeah, Bigby doesn't have a glamour.
Yeah, he does.
He doesn't?
No,
yeah, he does.
Nope.
What?
Nope.
I thought.
Nope. Bigby doesn't have a glamour. Nope.
I thought his wolf form.
We're not gonna talk anymore about it.
Okay. All right. Fine.
I don't know. That's a good question, but I would say the
because
humans,
because the trolls the trolls look hot when they get glamored. They're
those
hot.
Trolls
so
are hot.
what men have been glamored that?
Like Grendel,
Hans.
like he has got like a one of those milky eyes, and he's and
but isn't that
and,
because he has a bad eye?
Well, yeah, but he still has a glamour.
But he's poor, so he has to. They keep talking about how expensive it is, so he probably can't afford.
Yeah, but Jim is saying that Grendel's totally hot, except for his milky eye.
No, he's one of those like, why would you choose to look like that?
Oh, okay.
I think that it probably has a lot to do with money. Let's just assume that's.
Well, do you think the trolls have got a lot of money? I don't know.
No, probably not. That's a good point. I don't know how that works. What do you want from me?
Interesting.
Do we know that Grendel has a glamour? Maybe he can just
look because he transforms into a giant monster.
So does fucking Bigby and Beast, and you both yelled at me and said they don't have glamours.
They don't.
Okay. Well, then that's not a good explanation for why this guy has a glamour. Anyway,
if only we had gotten to see Toad glamoured.
I know. He probably looks like Danny DeVito.
Yeah, well, he's also... Chapter 2.
I was thinking he'd look like Mark Shepard. He kind of sounds like him.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Chapter 1, you kind of repeat the scene.
So
you decide...
It's not mean.
Beauty and the Beast question you a bit about what you found. Sorry.
Well, we made Matt sad.
I mean, I'm just trying to move the episode along, but you guys want to talk about Cockney accents? Go ahead.
We love a Cockney accent. And a Mark Shepard.
I
love Mark Shepard.
Yeah.
We decide to go warn Snow and learn that she is at... Beast tells us, I guess, that she is at Lily's funeral.
Mm-hmm.
So we go to the funeral where we are not welcome, and they're not happy to see us. I talked my way into talking to Snow, and I very quickly explained the situation to her about Crane and the photos. It will let you show her the photos. I did not. I told her this is what happened. Nope. I have photos. You don't want to see them.
I have a question. Did you guys promise Lily or Holly that you would let her get the body from the business office?
I did.
And I also did not interrupt Snow's eulogy.
Oh, yeah. I did. Eek.
I didn't interrupt the eulogy, and I did promise the body, but even if you promise the body, Crane has already tossed it down the witching well. Mm-hmm. Because you went to go check on the murder scene and all that crap instead of going and taking care of the body.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you?
Yeah.
You're not the coroner.
That's a good point.
I did look at the table full of objects about Lily. That was very sweet. Lots of cards written to her. And then I didn't say anything, but I still got Holly was real mad that I was there. And then Tweedle D shows up with a shotgun. He was very upset.
Yeah, after you talked to Snow for a minute, they ask her to come back up and be there for the end of the funeral. And as you're waiting for her to finish up, the Tweedles show up with shotguns and threaten you. They want you to leave Crane alone. Stop investigating him. Leave him alone, and it's fucking too late for that, I said. And the funeral goers noticed the Tweedles. They came over, and I tattled on them like a big scaredy wolf. I was like, nah, they have shotguns at your funeral. Yeah. And then they shoot us all and run away.
And I showed Snow the picture because I think if I were in a picture like that, or someone photoshopped me in a picture, I'd want to see it just to see what was going on.
Oh, okay.
I wondered if it would.
If I do, I'll let you see it.
No, I just mean in a bad way. Oh, look what someone did. I'd want to see what they did.
I wondered if she would push the points, and if she did, I would have definitely given her the photos, but I thought better to give her the option up front of saying, you don't want to see this, and seeing what the reaction was.
I wonder if she's into it.
I mean, the reaction, that's not what her reaction was. Her reaction was, you're right, I probably don't. Why are you trying to take away Snow's agency?
But if I Photoshop Johnny into a picture, he wants to see it.
That's not what I meant.
He does. He loves it when you Photoshop him into pictures. I know that you're
you're
saying it threateningly, but in reality, it's everybody's favorite thing.
Yeah, it's funny.
Anyway, we all get shot, and that's the end of the chapter. And chapter 3 starts, you're back in the business office. Now Crane's former office. Dr. Swinehart has fixed Bigby, and the funeral participants up.
Yeah, they're all okay.
Everybody's fine. He does tell you that he dosed the troll and Grendel with, I don't remember what he called it, ambrosia maybe?
It wasn't ambrosia, it was like lilac and something else. I don't know. I wonder if it's possible for some of them to die if you don't do well in that fight.
I don't think I did well, so I don't know. I don't feel like I did very well in a lot of these fights. Anyway, Crane broke the magic mirror, and it's all shattered up. And so we're going to use that, obviously, because, you know, what a great thing for cops to have. Something that can locate you no matter
See what
where
you're
you
doing
are.
anywhere, anytime.
But it's broken, and we sit around and chit-chat while the monkey Buffkin tries to fix it. And eventually he gets all the pieces put together, but realizes there's still a missing piece. Crane took a piece. We look around Crane's desk and try to figure out where the heck he went, and then Bluebeard shows up. Bluebeard wants you to go to Tweedle's office. Bluebeard the pirate wants you to go to Tweedle's office. Mm-hmm. I'm positive that Bluebeard is a pirate in Fables. I know that he is for a fact. Bluebeard shows up. He wants you to go to the Tweedle's office to question them again. Snow wants you to go to Lily's bar to Holly's bar to look through Lily's things. And you also have the option to go to Crane's apartment. And I did what Snow wanted. So I went to that. Bluebeard went up to Crane's apartment, and we just left the Tweedle's office because I was like, they're not going to fucking be there. And I was right, by the way.
I went to Tweedle's office and found a secret room.
Yeah, you do find stuff there, but you don't find them.
Yeah, I
so
also
he was
went
wrong.
there eventually, but not right now.
Yeah, I went last. I went to
first.
Holly's.
Oh.
Chapter 4. I went to Holly's bar first, and I searched through Lily's things. You have a conversation with Gren. He's wasted on ambrosia or whatever, and is pretty friendly, which is kind of fun. And then he kind of fights Woody, and you learn that Woody and Willie was paying for Lily's services, and everybody's all kind of mad at each other, but Gren is too high to really care. And then he passes out, and you go poke through Holly's things. She, sleep talks to you. I just didn't respond to her. You can say nice things to her, but I don't know why. She's high on drugs. She's not going to remember it.
I said nice things to her. I also like that after Gren passes out, it says Gren won't remember this conversation.
Yeah.
So, yeah, she sort of started asking me, oh, did you really care about her?
She thinks you're
and
Woody.
Yeah, she thinks you're Woody. And then she asked, do you think the sheriff is, trying to help? And I said, I think he's just trying to do what's right. And she's like, I hope you're right.
So you played along with that, huh? You didn't try to do the right thing and tell her who you were?
I didn't say that I was Woody, but I didn't say I wasn't Woody. So when she first asked Woody, is that you? I didn't say anything. And then she asked me, did you really care about her? I was like, yes, of course.
While this is going on, you're rifling through a box of Lily's things, and you do find another little book and another little magic box with a little glamour stuff in it. And, you leave. Next up, I went to Crane's... Go ahead.
I'm sorry, Matt. I do want to say that when we were at the strip club in the back area, I did find Faith's jewelry box, and it had been smashed open. And some of her personal effects, too, had obviously been rifled through.
Anyway, next up, I went to Crane's apartment, and by the time I got there, only Buffkin was there. Bluebeard trashed the place, and he burned a bunch of documents. And that's it. Last up, I went to Tweedle's office, and Flycatcher is there. He was the janitor at the Woodlands, and he is very friendly and wants his job at the Woodlands back. And says that now that Crane is gone, can he have his job back? And I told him, fucking sure, buddy. I will take care of it for you.
He has a very tragic Fable entry.
Oh.
He was... Yeah, he was, well, after he became a human, he had, a wife and a daughter, and they were murdered, and he was unable to deal with it properly, so he just does all these odd jobs to keep his mind off of it.
That's interesting, because that's very true for the comic book, and I feel like it was a thing that was slowly revealed over years, was like his tragic backstory. So it's funny that they just kind of upfronted it here. He gets a very happy ending in that series, actually.
Oh,
that's good. He's a nice dude.
He is. He kind of deserves it
and he wears
more than
a hat with a frog on it.
And it's like his like hair sticks out, and it's like a little tongue.
In fact, it's interesting how they... this job stuff is interesting, because if I remember correctly from like the first arc of Fables... when you meet Flycatcher, his whole deal is that he works as a janitor at the Woodlands as community service because he keeps getting caught eating flies in public.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that makes sense.
And everybody thinks he's kind of gross and nobody likes him. And they kind of slowly reveal his tragic backstory, and you realize that he's doing this to punish himself for the death of his wife and child, and it's... Right. Actually, really good stuff. Man, I might reread Fables after this.
So
ain't illegal to eat a fly.
That's true.
But they have to keep up pretenses.
I did say he was like, could you give me a job maybe? And I said nothing, and he was sad. And then I got apparently only 1.2% of players did not offer him a job.
Wow, he's so friendly. Like, how can you do that? Anyway, that's the end of chapter 4, but it takes us right into chapter 5. Flycatcher helps us search the Tweedles office. He lets us in. He helps us search, and then he shows us a secret room. Johnny.
Yeah, I did find that secret room, and I looked at pretty much everything. What you do have to find is one of those, like, glamour things. One of those little glamour jars, right?
Yep, another glamour
box. I found some more money, and I took it.
Too.
Yeah.
I did not take the money here, even though I really wanted to.
I did take the money, because why not?
I took the money as well, because it was Crane's money, I think. Like, it... said that it had come from Crane to go to...
That's right.
Did you already talk about Crane's office? Or is Crane's office after this in your notes?
I never went to Crane's office.
So, yeah.
I didn't either.
The Flycatcher showing you the secret room is chapter 5. And the rest of that stuff is chapter 4. So I don't know what the fuck happens if you go here first. You do chapter 5 first and then finish up chapter 4,
because I went back and went to Crane's office, and everything was burnt. There was nothing there.
Yeah, I had the same thing. If you have to go there first, and then you can confront Bluebeard, but I don't know what happens. So that's not how I played it.
Nothing happens because he already destroyed all the evidence.
Anyway, Flycatcher gives you some information, or you find more glamour stuff. You find more documents that give you an idea of where you're going to go. I don't remember exactly how this plays out, to be honest. I kind of half-assed these last notes. But it gives us enough information to determine where the witch lives, and Snow does call us. And
have we mentioned the witch at this point?
Oh, shit. That's right. Go ahead.
So when we were dealing with the magic mirror, the monkey in there does tell us that he heard Crane saying that he had to go see his witch. So... yes. We've been going to these places to try to sort of figure out who this witch is that is selling this illegal glamour.
Yeah, we knew that there were illegal glamours, and we figured it was something like a witch. But now we've gotten confirmation. Thank you, Vanessa. That's a huge plot point that I skimmed over. And we figure out where she is, and we know that this bit actually is, some of this is timed, though I don't know if it's a real timer, but it ticks a clock. You have like a couple of hours until 2 a.m. when Crane is supposed to meet the witch. But I had plenty of time left over at the end of Flycatcher's thing. I still had like an hour left, and it still managed to get to the witch's house 15 minutes late.
Yeah, me too.
I assume it was the same for everybody?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I was 15 minutes late.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if there's a way to get there on time.
Probably not. When I got there, we knock on the door, and a child opens the door, and you can talk to her you can kind of barge in and talk to her for a bit. She says that her auntie is gone, and she doesn't know where, and, please don't come in, I'm a child. But something is kind of suspicious, and you poke around a bit and realize this is no child. This is the witch.
This is an orphan situation.
It's an orphan situation.
I thought that this was so obvious from the moment she answers the door that I was surprised that he wasn't just like, you're obviously this old woman.
The only thing that threw me off is that it threw me off enough to look at it and go like, that's probably a red herring. But because I thought the same thing. But they do have there is like a portrait on the wall of the girl and an old woman. So
yeah,
she's really gone all in on this bit, which is nice. She's the witch. You basically can just grill her for more information by threatening to break her tool bench where she makes enchantments, glamours.
Mm-hmm.
And then
also, what the fuck, Snow White? In the scene,
gets weird. She tells you that she carves them from this magic tree, and the magic tree is in her fucking living room somehow. And Snow is like, fucking burn this thing. And I had to like put my foot down and be like, I'll fucking quit on you right now, motherfucker. I'm not burning this old lady's tree. I know that what she's doing is wrong, but that does not give us the right to just start burning down people's houses.
Yeah, I said the same thing. I'm like, we're not going to burn it. And she's like, burn it.
I was like, you are not my boss yet, ma'am.
Yeah.
What about you two? You burned it. Who burned it?
I did not burn it.
John?
I burned it because
fuck yeah.
I'm a bad cop.
You're a bad widow.
Wow.
You're a bad widow wolf.
Exactly.
Bad widow wolf. What
So
happened?
how was
Tell
that?
us. Yeah.
Yeah, what happened there?
It's just yeah.
She's like,
Yeah,
you understand you're ruining my life and you're killing me. I'll never be able to do anything again. And I'm like, yeah.
That's one thing I told Snow White when she told me to burn it was I was like, I'm not ruining this lady's life like tonight. I'm just not doing it.
Mm-hmm. I was like, damn right. That's a great idea. She's doing all these illegal glamours. It was great.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that's the end of that. I was a little confused here. I guess she tells us where Crane went. Is that right? Yes, she tells us that Crane came.
She said she gave Crane a ring.
Yep,
yeah.
she gave Crane a magic ring that dispels enchantments, but it doesn't have any charges and it's not going to work. But he went to the Pudding and Pie, so we head off to the Pudding and Pie and Chapter 7, the final chapter of this chunker. Thank God.
Mm-hmm.
So we do find Crane. How do can we beat up Georgie here?
No, well, maybe, but you walk in and you can see him through the fucking door. It's not like it's a secret. It does not take long. You walk in and say 2 words to Georgie and you hear Crane.
Oh, that's right.
He's back in the dressing room where you were with the girl earlier, and he's trying to use the ring on the girl. She's crying. He's screaming. Good stuff. The ring's not working. He is saying, I am trying to use this thing so that she will tell you that I think was with her, maybe. But regardless,
Yeah, for me, he's just like, I didn't do it.
Yeah.
Well, when I walked in, he's like, tell me who did it. Tell me who did it. You know? So it's pretty clear that it's not him who did
You're
it.
right. That's how it goes. So he's trying to get a confession out of her, and it's not working, but I decided to arrest him. I mean, like I said, he's not a murderer, but like he's still a suspect. Fuck that. And also, he needs to pay for what he did. And also, fuck this guy. I'm going to perp walk his ass into the woodlands in front of everybody and ruin his life. But, dun dun dun, you get Crane outside and you get ambushed by the Tweedles and Bloody Mary. And she does a lot of talking about little girls talking about Bloody Mary in the mirror or some shit. I don't know, to introduce herself.
She has a whole monologue.
She has a gun. Like, none of this... Why are guns supposed to be intimidating? This man's a werewolf that can survive gunshots. I saw it happen.
But, I mean, there's a reason why, if she shoots you.
Yeah. I love this part when... Because... Well, it's at the end here. Yeah, the silver bullet.
Silver bullets.
Does she say she has a silver bullet?
No, she doesn't say that, but she does.
How do you know she does?
because she shoots you with it, and then you're like, ah! And she's like, oh yeah, turns out silver bullets weren't just part of the stories. They're real.
Not a myth.
Well, she does. So she does say she has silver bullets.
I love the part before this when the Tweedles are there and they're pointing shotguns at you. I tried to advance on them and they Robocopped me. They shot me with so many shotgun shells.
It's really fucking annoying. Like, it does not let you do fucking anything. Like, come on.
But that's not true. I just kept advancing on them. They kept shooting at me and I kept getting wolfier and wolfier. And then I ripped out stupid Tweedle D's throat.
Holy shit.
Oh, no.
Whoa, I didn't kill him.
You can kill Tweedle Dumb or D. It says it in my
one of them. I totally. I was like,
you can kill Tweedledum.
I know you nerds aren't going to, so I did the hard thing.
It's true. I didn't kill him.
Anyway,
y'all ever played
tough decisions.
Bloody Mary?
You can't. No, I'm not. As much as I don't believe in the supernatural or anything, I'm still not doing it. Nope.
Meh.
Super
That's a
fun.
reasonable position to hold, and I respect
game.
Yeah.
It's a sleepover game where you turn out the lights and you say your name 3 times into the mirror, and then you all stand in there until one of the girls screams, and then you all turn on the light and run away.
Here's the secret. At least, maybe it's different for the girls. I don't know. But here's the secret. Whoever suggests Bloody Mary is planning on scaring you. Anyway, I failed to mention this, but when you get outside with Crane, a car pulls up. Tweedledee and Dumb and Bloody Mary get out, and there's somebody left inside. You kill Tweedledum or don't, and Bloody Mary shoots you with the silver bullet, which does knock you out. I think Snow begs for your life here, maybe?
She gives them Crane in exchange for not killing you.
That's right.
Yeah.
And the Crooked Man, all you see of him is him sticking his hand out the window and, like, I don't know, thumbs-upping or some shit. So they spare your life and leave with Crane. And that is the end of the Chunker. We did it, gang.
We did it.
Whew.
And I'm silent cop, bad cop.
I don't have to do the quarterback thing very often, guys. It's very tiring.
Yeah.
Buddy.
But you did a great job.
Thanks.
Yeah. Excellent work.
Next time, we finish the game. Exciting.
And what are we going to play next? Who knows, but probably Okami.
Yeah, we'll talk about it on the next step, which we'll release before the poll ends, I think, or something like that.
Yeah.
But the day the poll ends.
It'll probably be Okami, so prepare for that. Unless you really want to get out there.
Swing it.
Swing that vote, I guess? I don't know. I don't know why you would. Okami seems pretty interesting.
Everyone loves it.
It's pretty good so far, yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of half-naked Japanese goddesses.
Mm-hmm.
So that's fun.
You guys are gross.
Long scenes of deities with cut-out shirts bouncing up and down.
But you know what? At least in the new versions, you can skip through dialogue. In the originally, it was unskippable. You couldn't even advance the text. Like you just
can't do that in some. You can't do that. There are some areas in the game where you cannot manually advance the text, and the only option is to skip it unless you want to sit through the whole thing.
There's a lot of it, and these cutscenes are bad. Like they're very long, and they repeat themselves over and over again, and what they say is not interesting.
Yeah, but you have to pay attention because that's the show.
Yeah, take notes, bitch.
Nope, not my choice. Don't have to do the notes. Sorry.
Yeah, I'll do the notes for this one. It's fine.
I'm just gonna sit back and wonder what the fuck you guys are talking about. There's a cricket man? Why? All right, John. Any bullshit minigame corners for us?
Let's see. Not really. Other than switching that little tube, but that's the only
little
bullshit
glamour puzzle.
That's the only bullshit minigame.
It's just a puzzle.
That's it.
Puzzles are not minigames. We've had this discussion.
You're not a minigame.
Opening doors are not minigames. Puzzles are not minigames.
Yeah.
All right, let's discuss what we are squarely against. Vanessa, will you please start us off?
Interesting. I am roundly for the option to not smash that guy's bar up because, like, no joke, there are like 7 objects that you walk towards with your cricket thing, and he's like, no, please don't smash it. And then you like, if you don't smash it, you just step away from it and walk to something else, and he's like, oh no, don't smash that.
It's an amazing scene if you don't do anything.
And he's like, I can't believe you're doing this. When, like, you're not doing anything. So I'm roundly for that. Jim, what are you roundly for or squarely against?
I will say that I am roundly for Bigby's wolf transformation at the end of this chunker. I thought he looked really neat. He looked like a classic wolf man. I thought that was cool.
Yeah, he sort of has 3 different phases. Like, he has just glowy eyes, a little bit of claw, and then he has like sideburny, and then he has big old wolf man.
Yeah,
he gets
full
taller,
on hairy
has a
wolf
full
man,
hairy
yeah.
wolf face.
He kind of hulks out, but like a wolf.
Yeah,
he's still wearing his pants.
He's a shulk, but a shulf? A shulf?
Mm-hmm.
Shulf.
Yeah, shulk.
Yeah, so that was really neat. I enjoyed that. John, what are you squarely against?
I am roundly for how it looks kind of the same thing as Vanessa. When you just don't do anything and the game doesn't think that will happen, so it doesn't react appropriately to you having been completely passive through the entire scene. Also roundly for playing as a bad cop. Take that.
That would be
Tweedledee.
fun.
You know what? I'm roundly for the. I am roundly for some of these deep cut fables. Like, there's some fun stuff in here that you definitely have not heard of in fucking years, if ever, and it's fun. That type of stuff.
I've never
is
heard
fun.
of Georgie Porgy.
It is one of the. It's one of the things that I also like about the series Sandman, which has a fantastic Netflix show you should all watch. Seriously, will you fucking watch that already? I want it to get another season. Where it just like it uses a lot of well-known mythologies and stories, but then occasionally we'll pull out something totally out of left field that you have to like Google, not to enjoy it, but to get the full context. And I enjoy that. It's good stuff. Good writing. Some of this stuff, anti-abortion screeds, not good writing, but some of this, good writing. All right. Patreon.
Well, we did explain it at the top of the show, but if you'd like access to the ability to vote and access to our amazing back catalog of Patreon-only episodes, this month we're going to be talking about the Uncharted film.
Hell yeah. What tier is that?
That is at the $3 tier. At the $3 tier, you get access to all that sweet content. At the $5 tier, you get access to all that content, plus the ability to vote on games that we're playing for the show this year. And later, we'll have more votes. We'll have votes.
We're having votes all year. There's been a lot of votes.
It's weird to think that we're like in the last third of the year, though.
We usually, I feel like,
it's August.
It's fucking September in like 3 days.
It's the last third of the year.
Get your fucking Halloween costumes figured out. Start buying your Christmas presents, baby. It is September.
Mm-hmm.
It's not September yet.
Yeah,
it's still August.
By the time this episode comes out, it's basically September.
Oh no.
But yeah, so you can become a patron at patreon.com/squarerootspodcast. Another thing we like to do for our patrons is every week we will go around the horn and read a few names of our patrons and thank them personally. John's going to kick us off this week.
Ooh.
A personalized thank you for each listener.
A personalized thank you. Andy Best, you're the best. Friend of DeSoto, Aaron O'Toole, you're Aaron O'Cool. Jesse's Mom's Pizza, it's more like Jesse's Mom's Pizza is a great supporter. Coke Zorro is good. Square Roots, bigger, longer, uncut. Hexagon, Joshua Rose, Alexander Jokic, Citrusy, and Wishbone is gay.
And I would like to thank Sean Gonzalez, Armin Hammer, Isaac Wright, Mary Queen of Scoffs, Hudson Roth, Amanda Douglas, Andy Smith, Eric Pidkameni, Oh, You Don't Have the Right, and Rachel.
Jim,
I would
not
like to
continuing John's personal thank you for each listener, but that's okay.
Well, even Johnny couldn't continue
I
that.
kind of burned out.
He gave up halfway through.
I kind of zoned out. So.
Did give up halfway through, yeah.
I'd like to thank Tyler Crump, RP Siege, Jim, oh my god, did you see Ben's hat? Seattle Sounders, our soccer champions from Alaska to Trinidad. Live, no piracy needed. David Shook, David Green, Angel, Grayson, and Stu Skeel.
And I would like to thank Tom, you're the best. Dovahkiin's Discount Dragon Barn, you're the best. Vanessa's mom, you're Vanessa's mom. Hang it up, you're the best. This just-in Eldritch embodiment of darkness received sick burn from plastic cowboy toy. You're the best. Breegirth, you really are the best.
Breegirth really is the best. I mean, I'm sorry. I don't want to play favorites,
but
the true pretty rad
villain. Darth Goofius is the true villain. You're the best. Mostly rational person. You're the best. Nofford, you're the best. Oh my god, they killed. You're the best. I'm Hawk's mom, and this is my favorite podcast in Kirkwall. You're the best. And Edward Franco.
And you just Americanize his name. Edward Frank. Wow.
And you're not even saying he's good.
Eduardo Franco, I would like to thank you most of all.
Aww.
All right, folks. Well, that's it for this episode of Square Roots. If you'd like to send us an email to have read on the air, we're at squarerootspodcast@gmail.com. We have a Facebook group called the Square Roots Podcast Group for smart, cool, very attractive people. Or you can find us on Twitter at Square Roots Pod.
I'm sorry. It actually says at Fart Roots Pod. Please rate, review, and subscribe on iTunes, Ghana, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Thanks to Stephen Morris for our Square Roots theme. You can find Stephen on Twitter as Beige on Beige and on YouTube. Links in the show notes. And Vanessa.
Spotify listeners, we have a back catalog that's not available on Spotify. Where can you find it? On our RSS feed or wherever else you find podcasts.
SquareRoots.libsyn.com.
No one can spell Libsyn, so I hate to say it. Everyone will think I'm saying the city in Portugal. I'm not.
I know. What we really want to say is stop listening to your podcast on Spotify. Ugh.
We're right there with Joe Rogan.
Spotify wants to give us $50 million, in which case...
And the royals that made one episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm willing to go platform exclusive to Spotify. I'm putting that out there. All it will take is $50 million.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Send us an offer at squarerootspodcast@gmail.com. Well, guys, for Square Roots, I am Jim Banks.
I'm Matthew Van Zant. And I'm the best.
I'm Johnny Brandon.
And I'm Vanessa. And I'm not going to say that I'm the best, but you know.
Bye.
Bye. God, thank God that's over.
Matt is supposed to go next, but he has diarrhea, I think.
Oh,
that's why he's
okay,
not at his desk.
Yeah, just full-on diarrhea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well.
We also have a Patreon for...
Oh, wait, I think he's coming. Is he coming? There he is.
Yeah, there he is.
There he is.
We also have a Patreon.
Sorry, guys. I just have full-on diarrhea.